Hello and welcome back to another breaking news update. My name is Jimmy Boyd and you were watching Boyd News. I want to thank you so much for tuning in today. I've got some major breaking news coming out here for you and another update, a very important update regarding the potential arrest warrants that are coming for the Israeli government and also the IDF. So I've been reporting this over the last few days that the ICC, the International Criminal Court, could be issuing arrest warrants for the Israeli government and also top officials of the IDF. So I've got news now that we may be seeing this as soon as this week. Okay, this week we could be hearing that the ICC is issuing these arrest warrants. I've got lots of information to go over that with you. And also, right now, apparently, Benjamin Netanyahu, the Prime Minister of Israel that you see here on your screen, is under unusual stress, is what reports are indicating. That he's very stressed out and worried about the potential arrest warrants that are coming for him. And also, apparently, these warrants are going to be issued for Defense Minister Yoav Gallant and also Chief of Staff Herzi Halevi. That's the top commander of the IDF. Now, if you're wondering what these arrest warrants are for, the UN tribunal in The Hague for the ICC, they want to issue these arrest warrants for genocide charges. Okay, and also apparently one of the big ones is the fact that they believe that Israel is purposely starving the people of Gaza. Now, many would probably agree with that. I've seen many reports talking about this. Lots of people are upset by that. There's obviously a famine going on that's been announced for the last several weeks. There's famine in the Gaza Strip. People are starving. Many of these people that have been killed in the airstrikes as well, like well over 35,000 people have died. Many of them being children and women. Okay, so they're trying to arrest all of them, the ICC that is. And let's go ahead and get right into this and start going over this information. So I have a post here from Megatron Ron. Okay, and it says breaking: international arrest warrants from The Hague already this week against Netanyahu, Gallant, and Levy. And the source was Israeli M12. And I don't know if Israeli M12 is the Times of Israel. I tried to look that up, and it seems like it's the Times of Israel, but I'm not sure exactly what that publication is, but he's showing the source here. And it says, as revealed in the publication, Israel estimates that the International Criminal Court in The Hague, ICC, will issue this week issue international arrest warrants against top political and security officials. This is likely to be realized during the coming week, when international arrest warrants will be filed against Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, look at this, Defense Minister Yoav Gallant, and Chief of Staff Herzi Halevi. Okay, so the expected warrants will be given against the background of the genocide in the Gaza Strip, in addition to statements by various countries regarding Israel's violation of international law, where Israel committed an unseen genocide since the Second World War, in which it massacred over 37,000 civilians, of which over 13,000 children under 16 years old. Professionals and lawyers who were present at the limited emergency hearing tried to block the decision, though some last-minute urgent actions in front of Bin Din himself and in front of influential political parties, but these efforts apparently did not bear fruit. This is probably with the green light from the West, because someone has to bear responsibility for the genocide that the West, despite its efforts, failed to defend. The whole show will be ruined by either acquittal of these war criminals or some lenient sentences. So, again, we're most likely going to see some sort of arrest warrants coming from the ICC, but it also says here the whole show will be ruined by either the acquittal of these war criminals or some lenient sentences. So maybe they will get sentenced to prison or jail or something like that, or they may be completely acquitted on all charges and maybe they won't be charged. I don't know. We'll have to see what happens here. But definitely the West is trying to, well, the West, I want to say the U.S., is trying to prevent this from happening. Definitely, they're trying to protect the Israeli government, Netanyahu, and all these people that are going to be charged. There may be more people that could be charged, okay? But obviously the top officials, like the Prime Minister, the top commander of the IDF, and then also the defense minister, who is heavily involved in the operations and making these choices when choosing to, attack Gaza or, whatever they were doing when they wanted to attack Iran. It's their decision, okay? It's the people at the very top that ultimately make the decision at the end. So they're the ones that are going to be held liable for this. So I also want to go over this report and talk about how stressed out Netanyahu is right now, how worried the government probably is, especially these top three that could be potentially arrested. So this is on I-24 News. It says Israel and U.S. seek to prevent ICC arrest warrant against Netanyahu, says report. Israeli media reports suggest last-ditch diplomatic effort to prevent the warrant, as Prime Minister is said to be under unusual stress. So let's see what this says here. Israel and the United States are seeking to prevent the International Criminal Court, the ICC, from issuing arrest warrants against Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and other Israeli officials, Israeli media reports suggest. According to Walla, Netanyahu is under unusual stress over the prospect of an arrest warrant against him by the United Nations Tribunal in The Hague, which would mark a major deterioration in Israel's international status. Israel's prime minister is said to be leading a non-stop push over the telephone to stop the arrest warrant, focusing especially on communication with the United States President Joe Biden's administration, added Walla. So apparently the Biden administration is pushing to try to prevent this from happening, and they're kind of shielding him and protecting him at the same time, is what it seems like. Meanwhile, Haaretz reported that the Israeli government is working under the assumption that the ICC's British prosecutor, Karim Khan, may this week issue warrants for the arrest of Netanyahu, as well as Israel's defense minister, Yoav Gallant, and the IDF, the Israeli Defense Forces Chief of Staff, Herzi Halevi, bringing a war crimes case. Okay, so it's going to be for war crimes. The development comes after Netanyahu's Friday statement, "We will never stop defending ourselves," whereas decision of the court in The Hague will not affect Israel's actions. They would be a dangerous precedent, threatening the soldiers and officials of any democracy fighting criminal terrorism and aggression. And finally, it says here, meanwhile, Israel's foreign minister Israel Katz, in an interview to N12, called the potential warrant an absolute hypocrisy. "If necessary, we will not leave the country," he stated, adding that Israel was ready to suspend the operation in Rafah for the hostage deal. So I am seeing a lot about that. I'll give you an update when it comes to this whole hostage deal. I did hear reports that Israel has been talking about either suspending, like no longer going into Rafah if they were to release some hostages. I don't know if it'd be all of them or just some of them. We know there's still dozens of hostages that are still held by Hamas, and they may release some of them. So we're waiting on Hamas in the next 48 hours. They're supposed to be giving an update and stating whether they're going to agree to some sort of deal with Israel. But Israel's apparently they're saying that they won't go into Rafah if they can do some sort of hostage deal with Hamas. So I don't know. This to me looks like a kind of a 180 turn from Netanyahu's original stance when he was like, "We're going into Rafah, nobody's stopping us. We're going to do this. Nobody will prevent us from doing this operation in Rafah, and not the courts, not anybody, not the United States, not the West." So he said that, right? And now it's kind of the opposite. It seems like he's backing off a little bit. And he's saying, you know what? Maybe we won't go into Rafah. Maybe we'll just do some sort of hostage deal, and we'll just kind of end this and call a truce with Hamas. Isn't that interesting that that's happening? And it's obviously got to be because of this pressure from the ICC that may issue these arrest warrants coming pretty soon. That's just what I'm thinking. But let me know what you think down below. That's going to be it for this update. And if more information comes out soon, I will definitely let you guys know. But that's the latest in terms of the ICC issuing these arrest warrants. Like I said, we could be seeing these as soon as this week. And it's definitely going to completely flip the government of Israel. And at the same time, there's lots of protests happening too against Netanyahu, calling for him to resign. So definitely lots of turmoil going on in Israel. And this is going to be a very interesting week. So if you got something out of this update, please smash that like button. And also, if you enjoy my content, please consider subscribing down below. Hit the notification bell. That way YouTube can notify you. And with that, I hope you all have a great day. Everybody take care and God bless. And we'll see you in the next one.